The House will come to order. Members, please register. Have all members registered? A quorum is present. The House and Gallery will please rise for the invocation, which will be offered by the Honorable Denise Villalobos of Nueces County.
Please bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you today with grateful hearts for the opportunity to serve the people of Texas. We ask for your wisdom and guidance as we make decisions that will impact lives of many. Grant us the strength to act with integrity, the courage to stand for what is right, and the compassion to consider the needs of all of our constituents. Bless our state with prosperity, peace, and unity. Help us work together, setting aside our differences to create a better future for all Texans. May our actions reflect your love, and may we always seek to honor you in our service. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, the chair recognizes the Honorable Armando Wally of Harris County to lead us in the pledges of allegiance to the United States and Texas flags.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, friends and family, guests in the gallery, please join me in our pledges to the U.S. and Texas flags. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now our Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
The chair will now hear excused absences for members. Please excuse Representative Tepper because of illness on motion of Representative Spiller. Please excuse Representative Gervin Hawkins for today and the remainder of the week because of illness on motion of Representative Bowers. Is there any objection? Chair hears none, so ordered.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have a messenger from the Senate at the door of the House.
Submit the messenger.
Mr. Speaker, I am directed by the Senate to inform the House that the Senate has taken the following action. The Senate has passed the following measures. SCR 11, Zaffarini, granting the legislature permission to adjourn for more than 3 days during the period beginning on Wednesday, February 5th, 2025, and ending on Tuesday, February 11th, 2025. Respectfully, Patsy Spa, Secretary of the Senate.
All right, the following messages from the governor. The clerk will read the messages.
To the Senate and House Representatives of the 89th Texas Legislature regular session, I, Greg Abbott, Governor of the State of Texas, pursuant to Article 4, Section 9 of the Texas Constitution, do hereby submit the following message to the Senate and House of Representatives of the 89th Legislature now convened. Information concerning the condition of the state, the text of which will be entered in the journal. Respectfully submitted, Greg Abbott, Governor. To the Senate and House of Representatives of the 89th Texas Legislature regular session, I, Greg Abbott, Governor of the State of Texas, pursuant to Article 3, Section 5 of the Texas Constitution, and by this special message, do hereby submit the following emergency matters for immediate consideration to the Senate and House of Representatives of the 89th Legislature, now convened. Legislation reforming the property tax system and providing relief for Texas property taxpayers. Legislation providing a method of funding for new water supplies and water and wastewater infrastructure. Legislation providing for a universal education savings account program. Legislation to provide salary increases for Texas teachers, including through merit-based compensation programs. Legislation expanding career and technical education for Texas students. Legislation creating the Texas Cyber Command. Legislation reforming the bail system in Texas to end revolving door bail practices that put dangerous criminals back on the streets. Respectfully submitted, Greg Abbott, Governor.
The chair recognizes Ms. Harris Davila for an announcement.
Mr. Speaker, members, it is a special member of the House's birthday today, so will y'all join me in saying happy birthday to Ellen Troxclair?
How old is she?
She is turning 21 again today, in case you were wondering.
Okay. Hold on. Recognizes Ms. Troxclair for an announcement.
Representative David Spiller? Are you on the floor here? Okay, my birthday twin. Happy birthday, Representative Spiller.
Chair, Mr. Manuel.
It's off? Okay. Also, yesterday was Representative Tony Rose's 25th birthday. She can rent a car now, so thank you. Happy birthday, Tony.
Chair recognizes Mr. Bojani.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, today we have another birthday, a lot of birthdays today. Representative Yvonne Davis's birthday today, so I think she turned 21 plus a few months. Thank you. Happy birthday to her.
I would also like to mention that it was Representative Venton Jones' birthday over the weekend as well. I think that's all of the birthdays we're celebrating. Members, we have several resolutions and recognitions. One of the resolutions will require a record vote. Please take your conversations outside the rail. The chair lays out the following resolution. The clerk will read the resolution.
SCR 11 by Zaffarini, granting the legislature permission to adjourn for more than 3 days during the period beginning on Wednesday, February 5th, 2025, and ending on Thursday, February 11th, 2025.
Thank you, Mr.
The chair recognizes Mr. Hunter to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, this is the resolution for the week that authorizes adjournment for more than 3 days. Resolution authorizes the House or Senate to adjourn from this Wednesday till next Tuesday. It is my understanding the Senate plans to adjourn Wednesday until next Tuesday. I move adoption.
The chair recognizes Mr. Harrison to speak against the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I rise in strong opposition to this resolution. Respectfully, what in the world are we doing even considering a resolution like this for another extended weekend? Texans would be shocked to learn that this House has accomplished exactly nothing in the past 3 weeks that we've been here, except for H.R. 4, also called the Democrat Empowerment Act of 2025. How many of you, and this is a serious question, how many of you in either party campaigned over the last year saying, vote for me, and I'll go to the House and vote for long weekends? My sincere guess is none of you said that. Despite what some of you may have been told, the hard truth is that we could have started working on day one, even before the governor designated emergency items. Absolutely nothing stopped the Speaker from forming a select committee the day he was sworn in and referring bills on any of the countless priority policies that we need to tackle this session, such as putting our state on a path to eliminate property taxes, ending DEI in our public universities, or allowing students the opportunity to stop being trapped in failing schools. It simply is not true, members, that we aren't capable of working for the first 60 days. And in fact, countless times in our state's history, this body has suspended that prohibition to allow for expedient action. And today, we know this is still possible because the Senate has passed a bill out of committee last week and will vote one off the floor tomorrow. And to those of you who say we cannot move as fast as the Senate, I would say I agree. But ladies and gentlemen, that is no excuse for not moving at all. And even if those who have been claiming that we haven't been allowed to work were right, and they're not, that claptrap can no longer be employed because just this weekend, Governor Abbott gave us 7 emergency items which we could take action on today if we wanted to. And they include important issues such as property taxes, vocational training, and school choice. Members, we are now wholly without excuse for continued inaction. And after witnessing the intentional dysfunction of this body for the past 3 years, let me be very clear, especially to the new members, exactly what is happening right now. The leadership of this body plans to kill many important pieces of legislation this session, but they do not want to be blamed for it. It is much easier to blame failure to act boldly on the clock running out than it is on themselves. And this is especially true now that the House rules give the unprecedented power to the minority party to almost completely control the hearing schedule in every single committee if they so choose. And if you don't believe me, let's look at what happened last session. I am holding last session's final second reading calendar in my hands, okay? There are over 60 bills in here from the majority party that were killed intentionally by being placed so far down the calendar that there was literally no time to consider them. This is not an accident, and it was done by design and with malice by the Calendars Committee, whose chairman is now our Speaker. Among these 60 bills that were killed intentionally by letting the clock run out last session were such critical priorities as limiting emergency executive powers of the governor, banning COVID vaccine mandates for students, and reining in the regulatory state. The House could take action on these bills today, members, if House leadership wanted to. The fact is, they do not. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Operation Run Out the Clock, and let me tell you something, your voters know it. The millions of Texans we serve are not as stupid as some people and the media would have you to believe. And finally, to the members on my side of the aisle, whether it is your intent or not, any delay at all plays right into the minority party's hands. For those who are skeptical of my position, fine. But the burden of proof is not on those of us conservatives up here who oppose the motion to run out the clock with long weekends, but it is on those of you considering voting in the affirmative. And I would ask all of you to think long and hard about this. What exactly is the justification to vote yes for another long weekend? Every day the House doesn't act, priority legislation, like finally ending property taxes, risks failing. Members, a vote yes is a vote to make a mockery of the legislative process, and we are doing a disservice to the hardworking and overtaxed Texans who look forward to us providing the bold leadership that they expect and that they deserve. We've been here 3 weeks, and we've accomplished nothing. Please, let's not make it 4. I strongly urge you, my colleagues, to join us and vote no. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Hunter to close.
Move passage.
The question occurs in the adoption of SCR 11. This is a record vote required by the Constitution. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Representative Hunter voting aye. So Representative Rawali voting aye. You good? There being 123 ayes and 18 nays, the resolution is adopted. All right, members, we have several resolutions and recognitions. Please take your conversations outside of the rails. The chair recognizes Mr. Raymond for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I move suspend all necessary rules, take up and consider H.R. 120.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The rules are suspended. Following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. 120 by Raymond, recognizing the Washington's Birthday Celebration Association of Laredo.
Chair recognizes Mr. Raymond to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, thank you so much for allowing us to come in here and recognize these wonderful folks who are the symbol of the Washington's Birthday Celebration Association in Laredo, where we will be celebrating the 127th anniversary commemoration of George Washington's birthday. The George Washington's birthday celebration is a long-held Laredo tradition that goes back to 1898. This is the longest-running celebration of the father of our country's birthday anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world, really. I'll do like Trump, anywhere in the world. It began as a 2-day celebration that gradually grew to a grand festival attracting over 400,000 people. The celebration includes fireworks displays, food, games, and performances by entertainers from both sides of the border. Each year we have folks from Laredo who will portray George and Martha, and we also have Princess Pocahontas. And I would like to recognize at this time Minnie-Dora Haynes Rodriguez, who I have known since she was a little girl, like that big, who is now portraying Martha Washington, and a wonderful Martha. Please, let's give Martha a big hand. I would like to recognize portraying George Washington, Russell Lee Sedda, a very dear friend whose boys and my boys were in Boy Scouts together at All Eagles. Thank you, Russell. Representing Princess Pocahontas is Briseis Alexandra Sauceda, right here. Wave. and Chief Blue Eagle, portrayed by Jeremy Rodriguez. Thank you, Chief, for being here. Members, one of the most meaningful events we have, and I see Chairman Anchia, he's been down there for this, as many of you have, is the abrazo ceremony we conduct at the bridge, the International Bridge, where we have children from the two countries meet at the middle of the bridge and give an abrazo, a hug. And so I'd like to recognize the two United States abrazo children, Zeli Evangelina Martinez and Rodrigo Neira. Wave, guys. And the two abrazo children representing Mexico, the country of Mexico, Maria Fernanda Garcia and Tiago X Fernandez. We also have, representing one of the most important historic figures in Mexico, portraying Don Miguel Hidalgo y Costilla, Ruben Bazan III. Members, this much anticipated celebration exemplifies the spirit and enthusiasm of Laredoans and indeed Americans and the pride that we take in our city, our country, and our state. At this time, I would like to, Mr. Speaker, ask if our new state representative representing part of Webb County, part of Laredo, replaced Tracy King, our good friend Tracy King, if he would come up with the Speaker's permission.
Recognize Mr. McLaughlin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, Representative Raymond, and all my colleagues for taking a moment today to recognize and honor the dedicated people of Laredo. Laredo is one of the oldest settlements and has long served as a bridge between cultures and economies. Once the capital of the Republic of the Rio Grande, today Laredo is the largest inland port in the United States, driving trade and prosperity for our state and nation. But beyond its economic importance, Laredo is defined by its people, hard-working, welcoming, and proud of their heritage. It is an honor to celebrate Laredo and Washington's birthday, all who called it home. We thank you for your commitment to our community and the hard work you do in keeping Laredo and Texas strong. And I make a motion to move adoption.
All right, the question occurs in the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. Speaker Craddock moves to add all members' names to the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair hears none, so ordered.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Members, please take your conversations outside the rail. Chair recognizes Mr. Raymond for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend all necessary rules, take up and consider H.R. 121.
You've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The rules are suspended. Following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. number 121 by Raymond, recognizing February 4th, 2025 as Laredo Day at the state capitol.
The chair recognizes Mr. Raymond to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members and esteemed colleagues, it's an honor to be here today with my colleague who represents part of Laredo, Representative Don McLaughlin, and also my desk mate who used to represent part of Laredo, Ryan Guillen, to celebrate Laredo Day at the state capitol. Today, members, we are joined by our mayor, Dr. Victor Trevino, who was so outstanding during COVID. He was not mayor yet, he was the health authority, but he got us through COVID better than anybody in the state, I think, and now he's our mayor, and he's helping us even more. We're also joined by the First Lady of Laredo, Mrs. Trevino. We are joined by, let's see, is the Mayor Pro Tem here? Is the Mayor Pro Tem here? She's not, right? By council members, Melissa Cigarroa, Rick Garza, Dr. Tyler King. Did I get everybody? Did I get everybody? Yes. And also joining us is our city manager, Mr. Joseph Nebb. Originally known as San Agustin de Laredo, the city was founded in 1755, members, as an outpost of the Spanish Empire. It later became part of Texas in 1846, making it a gateway to Webb County, Texas, and the rest of the United States. From its earliest days, Laredo was an important crossing on the Rio Grande and a trading center for livestock, hides, and wool. Its role in international trade expanded with the arrival of the railroad in 1881 and the development of the Zona Libre, or the Free Trade Zone, along the border between the United States and Mexico. Today, members, some of you may know and some of you may not know, Laredo is now the busiest international port of trade in the United States and in the Western Hemisphere, and one of the busiest in the world. It is estimated that in a few years we will be passing over $1 trillion of trade a year through the city of Laredo. That helps all of your districts, all the state, and all the country. The people of Laredo are leaders and innovators. They contribute to the wonderful culture and values that make up Laredo. The culture reflects the rich blend of Mexican and American food, music, and people in Laredo. Speaker, at this time, I would ask if we would recognize Mr. McLaughlin.
The chair recognizes Mr. McLaughlin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, Representative Raymond, and all my colleagues for taking a moment today to recognize and honor the dedicated people of Laredo. Laredo is one of the oldest settlements and has long served as a bridge between cultures and economies. It is an honor to celebrate Laredo and all who call it home. We thank you for your commitment to our community and the hard work you do in keeping Laredo and Texas strong. I move for adoption of the resolution.
The question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? The chair hears none, and the resolution is adopted. The chair recognizes Ms. Swanson for a recognition.
Mr. Speaker, members, I would like to recognize a group that's My Republican Women's Club that's here for a tour that was sponsored by Representative Schofield. And we want to welcome Texas Tea Party Republican women from Houston. Please stand up. Let's give them a hand. Thank you. Woo!
The chair recognizes Mr. King for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to suspend all necessary rules and take up and consider House Resolution 76.
You've heard the motion. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The rules are suspended. Following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. number 76 by King, recognizing February 4th, 2025 as Andrews County Day at the state capitol.
The chair recognizes Mr. King to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, please help me celebrate Andrews County Day. If you don't know where Andrews is, it's situated in the Permian Basin on the High Plains. Andrews was established in 1876 and formally organized in 1910. The county and the city are named after Richard Andrews, who happened to be the first Texan to die in the War for Texas independence in 1835. Today on the dais, I have County Judge Sam Jones, Commissioner Buddy Hobbs, Mayor Jason Harper, County Tax Assessor Collector Robin Harper, and City Manager Steve Eggleston. Members, help me welcome my constituents to their Texas House and help us celebrate Andrews County Day. Oh, I forgot. And I do move adoption.
The question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. The chair recognizes Mr. Bell for a motion.
Mr. Speaker and members, I move to suspend all necessary rules to take up and consider H.R. number 133.
You've heard the motion. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The rules are suspended. The following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. number 133 by Bella Kaufman, recognizing February 4th, 2025 as Cedar Creek Lake Day at the state capitol.
The chair recognizes Mr. Bell to explain the resolution.
Encompassing 13 diverse communities, Cedar Creek Lake is a treasure of Texas. It is home to over 75,000 Texans who enjoy the beautiful outdoors and over 300 miles of the shoreline. These individuals embody our Texas values, our character, and our spirit, and I'm happy to recognize Cedar Creek Lake Day at the Texas State Capitol and extend my best wishes to each and every one of you during your visit to Austin. Please join me in recognizing the Cedar Creek Lake constituents for a day celebrating their community. Please stand and be recognized. Thank you very much.
Do you want me to move?
Move adoption.
Question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The resolution is adopted.
Representative Button moves to add all members' names to the passed resolution. Is there any objection? Chair is none, so ordered. The chair is pleased to recognize Dr. Roger Fowler from Tyler as the Doctor of the Day. Join me in welcoming him. All right, the chair recognizes Mr. Hopper for a motion.
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend all necessary rules to take up H.R. 169.
You've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The rules are suspended. Following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. number 169 by Hopper, recognizing February 4th, 2025 as Wise County Day at the state capitol.
Chair recognizes Mr. Hopper to explain the resolution.
Residents of Wise County are visiting Austin on February 4th, 2025 to celebrate Wise County Day at the state capitol. Located in the northwestern part of the state, Wise County was established on January 23rd, 1856. The county was carved out of Cook County by a legislative act and named in honor of Henry A. Wise, a U.S. congressman from Virginia. Decatur, Texas is home to some of the best professional rodeo cowboys and bull riders in the world, and many champions that lived and trained in the community, including one of the most decorated rodeo cowboys of all time, Trevor Brazile, as well as Tuff Cooper and the Texas Rodeo Hall of Famer Roy Cooper, both of the famed Cooper family. Celebrating their history as they embrace on the opportunities of the future, the citizens of Wise County take great pride in their community, and it's indeed fitting to honor their unique contributions to the story of the Lone Star State. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the House of Representatives of the 89th Legislature hereby recognize February 4th, 2025 as Wise County Day at the state capitol and extend a warm welcome to the visiting delegation. Wise County, welcome to your Texas capital. I move adoption.
All right, the question occurs in the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. The chair recognizes Mr. Martinez for recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, today we gather to celebrate McAllen Day at the Capitol. McAllen has a rich history dating back to 1797 and is growing into a key city in Texas. Through persistence and hard work, McAllen has become a prominent player in our state, reflecting the spirit of innovation and resilience. McAllen is also among the top 10 best cities for small business, and the U.S. News & World Report named McAllen as one of the top 50 best places to live in the United States and second best in Texas for 2024-2025. It is culturally rich with events like the McAllen Holiday Parade, World Languages Festival, and South Texas Books Festival, and it was honored as the World Festival and Event City for the third time. McAllen is known for its natural beauty, home of Texas A&M University, McAllen Higher Education Center, South Texas College, and McAllen Arts Center, the International Museum of Arts and Sciences, and much, much more. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Speaker and members, McAllen is more than just a city. It's a thriving community filled with opportunities, and today we are honored to have the special delegation from McAllen with us here in the gallery. If y'all could please rise, let's recognize all of these fine ladies and gentlemen to our Texas House.
The chair recognizes Mr. Darby for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I move to suspend all necessary rules, take up and consider House Resolution 127.
All right, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The rules are suspended. Following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. number 127 by Darby, recognizing February 4th, 2025 as Texas Energy Day at the state capitol.
All right, chair recognizes Mr. Darby to explain the resolution.
Thank you, members. H.R. 127 recognizes today as Texas Energy Day. Texas leads the nation in oil and gas and natural gas production, storage, and refining. Our oil and natural gas resources have led to an unprecedented level of energy security for the United States. Because of our energy economy, Texas enjoys some of the lowest gas and energy prices in the country. Industry folks are currently visiting our offices, so they are unable to be with us in the House gallery. I want to thank all energy supporters in the Texas Capitol, including all gathered behind me right here, for all you do to support our economy. Without each and every one of you, Texas just wouldn't be Texas. Texas oil and gas truly powers our state and nation and the world. Mr. Speaker, I move adoption of H.R. 127.
The question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. Representative Gerdes moves to add all members' names to the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. So ordered. Schatzline, for what
Mr.
purpose?
Speaker,
Representative Schatzline, for what purpose?
I'd like to move that all the remarks by Representative Harrison opposing SCR 11 be reduced to writing and placed in the journal.
You've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. So ordered. Chair recognizes Mr. Wally for a recognition.
Here we go. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, for allowing me to recognize the Texas Occupational Therapy Association. In Texas, the occupational therapists, or also commonly known as OTs, play a critical role in helping injured, ill, and patients with disabilities recover and improve skills necessary for everyday life and working. OTs enhance public health across the state by strengthening service delivery and improving access to care for our Texans. And also, shameless plug, please join us in supporting one of our or co-authoring one of our bills, HB 932. And our OTs are up here in the gallery. Please, if they would rise and be recognized by your Texas House of Representatives. Thank you.
We have All right, the chair recognizes Mr. Martinez Fisher for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I move to suspend all necessary rules so we can take up and consider House Resolution 131 for the University of Texas at San Antonio.
All right, You've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The rules are suspended. Following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. number 131 by Martinez Fisher, recognizing February 4th, 2025 as UTSA and UT Health San Antonio Day at the state capitol.
The chair recognizes Mr. Martinez Fisher to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I know, hey, it's that time. Whenever you see orange in the state capitol, it is not always UT, it is the other UT. UT San Antonio from the 210 in the South Gallery. Where you at? This is a powerhouse institution, and we're very proud to represent it. It represents both our traditional academic university and our health component, which includes our medical school and our dental school. And I'm going to move adoption, then I want to recognize a few people. So members, I move adoption.
The question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. Chair recognizes Mr. Martinez Fisher.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. A lot of you know UTSA, you know the mission, you know the work that they do. They are on the cutting edge of lots of research, data security, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence. This is where you come to learn about the innovations of what's happening in the future, how we protect not only this country, but this world. That work is being done at UTSA, a Carnegie R1 school, as well as UT Health San Antonio, which is a top 5% leader in clinical medical research, not just for this city, but for this country. And the merger of this powerhouse, these two institutions, will make UT San Antonio and UT Health the third largest public research university in Texas, all happening here in San Antonio. And I know we have several leaders that run those institutions, but I believe in the gallery we have our president, Taylor Amy. Dr. Amy, if you are here, can you just stand up for us, please? Thank you for all the work you do at UTSA. Roadrunners, let's go, birds up. Awesome.
All right, the chair recognizes Ms. Johnson for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to suspend all necessary rules to consider H.R. 143.
All right, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The rules are suspended. The following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. number 143 by Johnson, recognizing February 4th, 2025 as Texas Association of Otolaryngology Head and Neck Surgery Day at the state capitol.
All right, the chair recognizes Ms. Johnson to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today is the Texas Association of Otolaryngology Capital Day. If we could please have them rise, who are here in the gallery, and recognize that the association represents the head and neck surgeons across the state, promoting the advancement of the field of ear, nose, and throat medicine. These medical professionals play a crucial role providing necessary health care to countless Texans. We celebrate you today and welcome you to the Texas Capitol. Thank you all. We move adoption.
The question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. Representative Plessa moves to add all members' names to the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. So adopted. All right. Chair recognizes Ms. Garcia for a motion.
No, I got them.
Okay.
Do I do it? I ask you first?
Chair recognizes Ms. Garcia of Bexar County for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, members. Today, we'd like to recognize a very, very dear members of our community. If I can get everybody's attention, if you are a grandparent, or you love a grandparent, or you hope to one day be a grandparent. Okay, okay. Then can we get your attention, please, so we can suspend the rules to make up and take up consideration for House Resolution 115.
All right. Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The rules are suspended. Following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
Thank you, thank you.
I'll be real quick. HR number 115 by Garcia of Bexar, recognizing January 30th, 2025 as Grandparents Raising Grandchildren Day at the state capitol and honoring the nonprofit Texas Grandparents Raising Grandchildren for its contributions to the state of Texas.
Chair recognizes Ms. Garcia of Bexar County to explain the resolution.
Thank you so much. You can tell I'm so excited to really honor our Texas grandparents raising grandchildren. There's so many different reasons why, but my reason is these are grandparents who have already raised their own children in their lives, right? I remember being around 4 years old when my mother, who was a young mother, became addicted severely to drugs, and it was my grandmother who took me in and took care of me and gave me love and shelter when I had none. Our foster care agency in the state of Texas is hurting. Not only that, but our children who are impacted by the foster care system are hurting. These are grandparents who have come out of retirement, who have already raised their children and are now raising their infant grandchildren, oftentimes on a fixed budget. Let's think about what the price of Social Security is today, what grandparents are getting for Social Security. Now imagine having to feed 3 hungry mouths, trying to save the lives of your grandchildren from being put into the foster care system because your daughter or your son is no longer here on this earth to take care of them. That's why today we honor Texas grandparents raising grandchildren. This nonprofit has organized in San Antonio and beyond and works to advocate for the empowerment of caregivers by improving access to resources, information, and community. Mercedes Bristol, the founder, has been a fierce advocate, a grandmother herself who knows the struggles of raising her grandchildren, 5 of them that she has adopted and raised as her own. Through this relentless work, Texas Grandparents Raising Grandchildren has increased the awareness of the unique challenges faced by grandparents who are caregivers in our state. With our support, they will help to build futures and brighter futures for their families. On January 30th, grandparents from across the state of Texas came here to their Texas state capitol to advocate with their representatives, to advocate for the lives of their grandchildren. Their stories have been shared. Their lived experiences are ones that we shed tears when we hear them. And for this, we prove that we support their ability for their children to be provided for. Members, please join me in recognizing Texas grandparents raising grandchildren and grandparent caregivers all across the state of Texas.
Chair recognizes Ms. Jones of Harris.
I want to thank my colleague for bringing out that subject. And I just want to give a shout out to my grandmother. When my aunt was murdered, she raised my cousins. And I want to give a shout out to my Aunt Kathy. She's raising her grandkids. And I just remember when I was little, my grandmother would have us, because she needed to, and she would do it in a whole assembly line, making our sandwiches in the morning. I mean, she'd lay it out, mayonnaise, skip over, and then she dropped us all off at school, and then she picked us all up from school, and she taught us lessons. And I can tell you, as a kid who didn't have a father, because my father killed himself, suicide definitely was on my mind a lot. And I just know that if it were not for my grandmother, I would for sure be with my father. For sure. Because she always just seemed to know whenever I needed her. And I maybe didn't have courage to ask for help, but she knew. So grandparents hold a really important place to all of us. And if we have them, we should kiss them, because I don't have my grandparents anymore. So if you have a grandparent, kiss them, please. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Ms. Garcia Bear to close.
Mr. Speaker, I move adoption.
All right, the question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. Representative Romero moves to add all members' names to the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. So ordered. The chair recognizes Ms. Button for a recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, we have such a great special guests from the wonderful city, wonderful University of Texas at UT Dallas. Please stand up first. Scholars of McDermott Scholars, thank you for being here. You are so smart. And also, President Benson. President Benson, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for educating those wonderful students. Stay right where you are. I got a group of wonderful people. My colleagues all want to join me to celebrate. I have to tell you something so special of UTD, because that's where Angie Chen Button graduated. That's also where Angie Chen Button met her Mr. Darcy. So UTD is not only provide wisdom, knowledge, education, but also provided romance. Isn't that true? So UTD is awesome. And please join me in welcome this group of wonderful folks to visit our institution. This is a people's house, and we work for you. And if any of my colleagues here want to add their personal welcome, please do so. Thank you for coming here to celebrate with us.
All right, the chair recognizes Ms. Simmons for a motion.
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend all necessary rules to take up and consider H.R. 161.
All right, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The rules are suspended. Following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. number 161 by Simmons, congratulating Beyonce for winning 3 Grammys at the 2025 Grammy Awards.
Chair recognizes Ms. Simmons to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, this resolution is congratulating Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter, the Queen of Houston, on her tremendous win at the Grammys Sunday night. In addition to winning Best Country Duo Group Performance, Beyonce has also become the first Black woman to win Country Album of the Year and the first Black woman since 1999 to win Album of the Year. With 32 Grammy wins and 99 nominations, she is the most awarded and most nominated artist in Grammy history. In 2023, her Renaissance World Tour became the highest grossing tour ever by a Black artist. The following year, her country-tinged single, Texas Hold'em, debuted at #1 on Billboard Hot 100, making her the first Black woman to achieve this feat with a country track. Cowboy Carter was an ode to her Texas roots, which are firmly planted in Houston, specifically in House District 146 and House District 147. We are proud to have both of her childhood homes. Her home on Parkwood Drive in my district of HD 146 was also the inspiration for the naming of her production company that she started in 2008. On behalf of the House, we want to congratulate her for her win and are so excited to welcome her back to Texas very soon for the Cowboy Carter Tour.
Chair recognizes Ms. Jones of Harris.
Rep. Simmons said it most, but y'all, when you see Beyonce, you see her taking a picture in front of historic Third Ward in Riverside Terrace. That's House District 147, baby.
Now you know I'm from 147. I'm from the train, always.
Okay. So in any case, but no, on a serious note, I think that Beyonce has caused people to appreciate talent wherever it's from, and I think that's super, super, super important. But again, Riverside Terrace.
Chair recognizes Ms. Garcia of Bexar County.
Thank you so much, Representative Simmons, for bringing forward this wonderful honor. For many of you who know me, you lovingly know me and love me as Representative Josie Garcia. But what those of you do not know is that my God-given first name is Jolene. So although I love going to my local cafe and hearing Jolene, 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 I can't help but wonder why Beyonce chose to pick beef with me at this time in our future. So Ms. Beyonce Carter, thank you so much for bringing forward a lovely Dolly Parton classic, Texas Hold'em.
Chair recognizes Ms. Bowers to speak.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I could not let this happen today in recognizing and celebrating Beyonce without saying that I am from Third Ward. I'm from the Tray. And to let you all know that Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mom, did my hair before we all knew about Beyonce. So in all things hair, just let it be known that Tina Knowles, mother of Beyonce, did my hair.
Hold up, you forgot to tell him you Miss Crown Act. So.
And for those of you who don't know, I authored and sponsored the Crown Act, and thankfully the Texas House passed it in a bipartisan way. Thank you.
Ms. Simmons.
And briefly, a point of personal privilege, Rep. Reynolds reminded me that Beyonce is also a resident of House District 27, so we want to make sure we acknowledge that. But I move passage.
All right, question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. Representative Bowers moves to add all members' names to the resolution. Is there an objection? Chair hears none. So ordered. Chair recognizes Ms. Morales of Harris for a resolution, for motion.
Yes. Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend all necessary rules and take up and consider H.R. 31.
You've heard the motion. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The rules are suspended. The following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. number 31 by Morales of Harris, recognizing February 4th, 2025 as Houston East End Chamber of Commerce East End Day at the state capitol.
Chair recognizes Ms. Morales to explain the resolution.
Okay. Where's my words? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today, it's an honor to recognize Houston's East End Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber is here today, and we want to recognize the incredible contributions of the East End community. Let's have you stand up, East End Chamber. Woo! The East End Chamber has a rich history in East End of Houston that dates back to the 1820s. Sorry, the East End has a rich history that dates back to the 1820s. It served as a hub of commerce, culture, and opportunity for multiple generations. The economic impact, this is home to over 200,000 people, 7,500 businesses, and includes the Port of Houston, y'all, a critical international trade center. Today, we recognize the growth and strength of the East End business and their impact on the local economy. They are the backbone of the community, driving job creation, innovation, and preserving the area's unique character. Since 1991, the Chamber has championed small business, offered resources, advocacy, and networking opportunities to help them thrive. They have secured more than $500 million in investments, including light rail expansion, bus lines, and street beautification to enhance accessibilities. Congratulations to the Chamber and all those who contribute to its success, to the success of this remarkable community. Do you want to say anything? Okay.
Press.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I just want to recognize some of the Chamber events. The presiding officer of the Houston Pilots, Clint Winiger, thank you for being here. And obviously the executive director, Francis Castaneda Diaz, thank you for being here. And my next door neighbor, well, not next door, but 2 houses down neighbor is also here, retired police officer Robert Ruiz. And the rest of you, Calpine, thank you all for being here.
Ms. Morales.
I move adoption.
All right, the question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. Ms. Perez moves to add all members' names to the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. So ordered. All right, the chair recognizes both Mr. Berry and Mr. Vasut for a recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I would like to recognize a group of exceptional students and staff from Alvin ISD under the Superintendent Carol Nelson. We have the Superintendent's Student Advisory Group in the gallery today from Alvin ISD. They've been meeting with offices, learning about policy impacting public schools at Raise Your Hand, Texas, and learning how to advocate in the building. Please join me in giving them a warm welcome. If you would stand, please. You're up.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, it's an honor to get to represent you all in the Texas House. Thank you for being here today. Welcome to your house. Take your studies seriously. Do well in your life, and one day you might find your way onto this floor. Thank you very much.
Chair recognizes Mr. Berry for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Tonight, members, Representative Longoria wanted me to remind everyone that the House members' football game is this evening. I'm looking forward to seeing each and every one of you in the pocketless shorts and spikes on the field. Festivities start at 5. They'll be there for a reception in time for warm-ups on the field. Bevo will be outside the stadium during this time. At 6, we'll begin a coin toss, captain's meetings, and rule review, then kick off at 6:30.
Say what?
Ma'am? Please stick around after the game for a group photo and a reception starting at 7:30.
I guess 6:30.
Thank you, members. Look forward to seeing you there.
Chair recognizes Dr. Lalani for recognition.
Mr. Speaker, I want to recognize a distinguished group of physicians who are here today as part of the Texas Medical Association First Tuesday event. They are from all over Texas, but I want to especially recognize our Fort Bend County and Harris County doctors. These doctors have been walking the halls of the Capitol, advocating for the issues that impact the medical community and the well-being of the patients across Texas. I'm proud to welcome physicians and residents from the Fort Bend Medical Society, who are also my constituent. Joining us today is Dr. Gaba, Dr. Chang, Dr. Shetty, Dr. Tu, Dr. Sanchez, Dr. Lawal, Dr. Ahuja. I also want to honor and recognize physicians from Harris County Medical Society, Dr. Pandya, Dr. Garcia, and Dr. Jordan. These physicians are on the front lines of medicine, and their voice is critical in shaping policies that affect public health, medical education, and access to care. I thank them for their dedication, for being here today to ensure that the voices of Texas physicians and their patients are heard. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If they are in the gallery, please stand up for recognition. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
All right, the chair recognizes Mr. Dyson for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I'd like to call your attention to an email that you should have received this morning about Lucchese Boots coming up here to the Capitol for a fitting event. That begins tomorrow. Lucchese will be set up in the Blue Cross Blue Shield building across the street to provide custom boot fittings. They'll be there tomorrow from 9 to 4, and then again on Thursday from 9 to 2. If you have any questions, feel free to call my office. Thanks. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The chair recognizes Mr. Moody for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. Real quick, if you're a member of the Criminal Justice Reform Caucus, we'll be having an organizational meeting as soon as we adjourn from here to elect officers so we can begin our caucus activities for the session. Will not take very much of your time. We'll be in E2022. That's the Criminal Justice Reform Caucus. And if you can't attend, please just provide your proxy so that we can conduct our meeting and move forward for the session. Thank you.
All right, members, the speaker's desk is clear unless there's any more announcements or recognitions. Mr. Curry moves the House adjourn until 10 a.m. Wednesday in memory of Mary Carter of Waco. Is there objection? Chair hears none. The House stands adjourned.